Welcome YouTube, I am Games Animal. That's a nod to the man Dave Perry. Welcome one and all, just adjusting the camera. Whew. How you all been? Good. I'm glad to hear it. Ton of shit. This is all pre-Blackpool and post-Blackpool. And some absolute belters in here. Honestly, we're chipping away at multiple sets. Starting new sets as well. And I've got some birthday stuff. So this is going back since the 21st. That's how long it is. On the side note, if you've not been over and dropped Dave Perry a sub, I think probably he has. He's probably got fucking reached 1,000 subs in like 5 hours or something daft. I'll put a link to his channel anyway. He's doing it on his own. I think there was plans afoot. Again, don't quote me, he'll probably explain it. He was going to do some collabs with someone else, and I think he's just got a bit frustrated, so he's doing it on his own, which fucking fair play to him. You know, flying blind, and he's doing it right. So go over, give him your support, and enjoy what is probably essentially the quintessential, rather, 90s video gaming show. And you know, you take it for what it is. If you don't fucking like it, move along. But he's a real guy, and I like that. I like real people. Anyway, fucking, oh no, I bought some as well. We've got some, quite a lot of eBay actually. Only one thing from my favourite shop. So some birthday stuff, and I bought a load of stuff from a guy who's still around. He's not dead, but he just doesn't make YouTube videos. I think I might have mentioned him. Did I show these or not? No, I couldn't have shown them because this was just before Blackpool. I can't remember where. Oh, I'm losing my fucking train of thought. Because this is the problem. I don't make a video with some of the shit I picked up. I forget where it's all fucking come from. Well, not where it's come from, but if I've shown it or not. I'm sure I haven't shown these. So we'll rattle off with that first anyway, to be honest. It was quite fortunate. I mean, it looks quite sunny now. It's been fucking absolutely pissing it down here. So I'm convinced I've mentioned this before because I told a story. But I watched a chap called James Collects. Again, go and sub James. He's an honest guy, you know. He's a nerdy collector and an eBay reseller. So he collects stuff and he sells stuff, a bit like most of us do, like I do and everyone else does. And he mentioned that he was at a car boot and he bumped into the Bobby. No, what's his bloody channel name on YouTube? Fucking hell, he mentioned his channel name, and I thought, oh, I remember Rob, because I'm friends with him on Facebook. Anyway, that's basically just the story. So I got in contact with Rob and I sort of said, oh, how's it going, this, that, and he said, oh, I've got sort of picked some stuff up from the car boot, are you interested? A load of Game Gear stuff. So this is what sort of kick-started that sort of that itch, and that Blackpool have bought the Game Gear stuff off of Pete Love and Rob, my mate Rob. So yeah, I mean, he did me a great deal. I'm not going to say the price because it was mates rates, but some box stuff, some loose stuff. I mean, I say, the thing with the Game Gear, I'm happy with loose carts. It just so happened he had the boxes, so if the boxes are there, I'll take the boxes. If they're not a big deal. In no real particular order, we have got Defenders of Oasis. These are all the loose ones. Virtua Fighter Animation. So what they did with a lot of the Tech Toy ones, these are the ones in Brazil, like that one it looked like it got converted to the Master System, but I think it's just a Game Gear port. Super Smash TV. We have Ren and Stimpy. Quest for the Shaven Yak. Oh, I meant to say, in the Blackpool video, I met fucking Harry Yak. I missed bloody Harry Yak off. Sorry. Well, you probably doesn't watch this anyway. But I know Steve Retro Linden. So yeah, apologies. And it was nice to see him because he's not been very well. You know, the horrible Big C, I think, had been chasing him, but he's in remission. So he was sort of saying to me. So you know, good to see you, Harry. Anyway, mate. That just reminded me. And Strider returns. So they're all the loose carts. So I've got a couple of box ones as well. Now all these are missing manuals. Hopefully I've got one or two coming from Rob. Because he has a tendency to pick stuff up. If anyone was wondering, I know a few people asked in the last vid, about the games in the background. That's Crime Killer. This one's called Incredible Crisis. With the what sounds like the Madness soundtrack playing. Anyway, box of stuff. Solitaire Poker. Boxes are all in nice. Some had some stickers on. De-stickered most of them. Put them in creepy plastic bags just to keep them safe, as I always do. Nice one here. Shinobi 2: The Silent Fury. I had the cart for this. Put it in. So yeah, nicely de-stickered. Spider-Man. Tasmania. I mean, the boxes are they're Game Gear boxes. They're not Bad Fuck Up UK minty, but yeah, they'll do me. They'll do me for the price. Woody Pop. It's basically a Arkanoid. I'm sure mate Rob's got me a manual for this. Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap. Or Wonder Boy 3: The Dragon's Trap. Pengo. Puzzler. And lastly, just Wimbledon. I mentioned this on the Mega Drive. So they're from Rob. I forget his bloody YouTube. He hasn't got any videos on it anyway, so it wouldn't make a much difference. It's not going to help him out. But yeah, sound man, honestly, really appreciate that. Robert Knowles, Nobby, I'm sure they call him Nobby. I can't remember his channel name is though. It'll come to me at some point. So yes, they're from Rob. What do we do next? Let's jump straight into this. So yeah, we've been CXing. Not a great deal. I had 2 games that come through. One of them had to go back. Oh no, shit! Hang on. No, there's 2 things. Two. Stop. What was I doing? It was the day after Blackpool, the Monday, and I did Monday off anyway. I went uptown, and Mickey Allman messaged me, so said, "Oh, couldn't do us a favour, could you? Pop into your local CEX. There's a couple of games he was after. Saturn games, want to see the condition. Did they take something in, or did they have some credit? I can't remember. I had that 10, 15 quid credit somehow. I can't remember what it was. It might have been previous credit. So I got them things took some pictures for Mike, and I think ended up buying the games. But they had this on the shelf. It's been in there a while, and I knew it was 10 quid anyway. I thought, you know what, I'm going to have another butcher's at that, and I've grabbed it. It's in great condition. I'm not going to get it all out. You've probably seen it all before, but it is SimCity, and it's one I didn't have. It's one of these games I thought I had, and when I was in there pre-Blackpool, I thought, oh, I'll have a check, and you know, before I go to Blackpool, check some stuff. I didn't have it, so I thought if it's there when I get back, I'm going to grab it. It's in all right condition. The manual's a little bit creased, but the say for a tenner boxed, that's in great condition. So yeah, another one to stick on the shelf and never fucking get played. So that was in store CX. This has just come through today. I was amazed to see it on there, online. Took a flyer. 2 parcels come through. Did the weight test. One was good. I thought that's got to be fucking. And honestly, when I've opened it up and the condition of it, fucking hell. Because I did put a couple of bids on this. So it's basically a French game based on a comic book. So them will probably know what it is anyway. I thought it was basically Tintin. It's not. It is a different character, but very akin to Tintin. And I put a couple of bids on. There's loads in France. A couple of cheeky bids on. There's one that had a load of stickers on it. Well, if I can get the stickers off, it'll be a nice copy. But the guy just wasn't entertaining any offers at all, even though he had offers on there. Just completely ignored them. The price I've paid for this is it's just under what it goes for. I mean, you could probably get a nice copy from France for like 25 quid, 24, 25 if you on a good day. So this has cost me 20 quid plus £1.50. I am going to show you the receipt because I think a lot of people won't believe that it's come from CX. I was amazed to see it on there. Let's say it's not something I would expect to see in the UK in the you know, high street store, and it is Spiro or Spiro. I don't know how you pronounce it. But this is in great condition. The blue spine. Scott Brand, Sega Zombie, moved house. Sega wall is in bits. It needs to be rebuilt. We can rebuild it. But yes, Spyro, platformer, and this is fucking fantastic, guys. Honestly, really is nice condition. And it's not got any of the cracks, because these ones tend to, the corners split and crack, and there's none of that. And just to show you, just cover that bit up because you don't want to see that. It did come, Spyro from CEX, look, you can see the date. Can you see the date? Yeah, dispatch date. So, now a lot of people were still dubious. People, you know, friends, burnout culture, and all them kind of guys. They don't want to spin the CX wheel. Like, say it doesn't always, but it's just perseverance. I've just fucking dropped lucky. I've never seen that on there. To be honest, I've not really seen that in many shows or anything. Like I say, it tends to be a, you know, more on the continent, in Europe, than it does in the UK. And just to sort of it come through. There we go. Another one down from the Mega Drive. We're chipping away at it. So that was one I was expecting to probably have to get from eBay. I've not got a bargain on it. I had to pay cash. I paid cash. I didn't have any credit left. But I was willing to pay cash anyway from eBay. So yeah, winner chicken dinner. So that is, let me just double check. I'm sure that is all of the, yeah, that's all CX. We're done with CX. So I've got some stuff that I bought, a lot of eBay, and then some off the Facebook pages. Probably do them towards the end. And I've got some birthday stuff. Just do the birthday stuff now. As I say, it's my birthday for Blackpool, so she buys me fucking the most random stuff. I wish you'd just asked me for one of the games, it'd be a lot easier. I've got this fucking thing, and I did say to her, so where can I put that? And she said, well, when you get your games rebuilt, and I'm a bit despondent with that now, so it ain't going to happen, is it? You know, downbeat. Said, no, well, so, you know, we're still, them plans are still rumbling on. We've got Christmas to get past now, haven't we? But I'm sure Big E, fucking I forget what his name is now. Fucking stupid. Big E's got one of these anyway. He's got a load of them. This is a fucking 20-inch Mario. It's fucking huge. Nice display. I'm sure Big E's got one of these. He's got Link. I'm sure he's got Link and somebody else. He might have them all. Herbie Ass 007. Brain's fried, man. Must have been on that beer last night. But yeah, he's a bit of a beast. And I said space is a premium, so I don't know where old Mario's going to go. He might have to get bagged up and put in a shed for a bit. And then the other thing she's got me is this. I've not even opened it. It's not really, I mean, I wouldn't buy these sort of things. You know, it's just not me. But it is. So I've not opened it. It's a merch. It's a Nintendo Ultimate merch crate. Box of tat. Some of these things I've got on here, I got them for the fucking car boot. I'm sure I've got the money box and stuff. There's a lot of Zelda stuff, Mario and Game Boy. It tells you what's on it there, look. I mean, I was going to unbox it, but I'm not sure if it's it, because it just tells you what's in there. Mario coasters, mini question block light, that'd be quite good. So a lot of this stuff I'm sure has been in like game and stuff, you know, all the trinkets that you can get. So yeah, I don't think it's really worth opening, but it's quite a nice thing. I'll probably just keep it as it is for the minute. And that was really it for the birthday. So a bit more clothes because I'm so fat now, I've outgrown the other ones. We've talked about that before anyway. So yeah. Okay, I want to talk about events as well. So we do events now. We have got, you have got, I'm not going to be attending that, is Bristol Gaming Market. I think that's next week. I've got it written down somewhere. Anyway, you can always Google it. Bristol Gaming Market. That's happening. I think it might be next week. Then on the 24th and the 25th of November, there's Revival. Right, so this is like, they calls it the Winter Warmer. So the first one I ever went to with Jay and all that lot was at the Winter Warmer, and my little mate James, Busabi James. And that was a cracking, it really was. It was in a tiny little barn. It wasn't tiny, but it was in a barn. The first time I met Alex, Nintendo Arcade as well. And it was a scream. Just got fucking pissed again at the bar. Played some games, bought some stuff. It's great. I didn't know Dana, and Dana, that's the first time Dana had stalled out at Revival. So this one is in, and I keep saying it's Walsall. Dana says it's not. It doesn't matter. I'll put the details for the site down below. I'm sure he said it was limited spaces. So get on it quick, because, and this is the thing, it's only £5 to get in. It's £5 on the door. There isn't a licensed bar, but they are selling drinks, and obviously it's just going to be wholesale, so the drinks will be cheap. It's not as big as the summer one, so don't get carried away. I think Dana says there might be 7 or 8 sellers, a few machines, a few pinballs, a few arcade machines, a few console set up and stuff like that. So it's more just a very much more of a social event for Christmas. We'll meet up and have a, you know, sink a few beers and have the crack. So if that sounds like your bag, then come along and attend. I'll be going just on the Saturday. My good mate Rob's agreed to drive up, so yeah, it should be good. I say it's not going to be fucking half 11 weekend or anything like that, but it'll be a good meet up, I think. And then after that, I think 2 weeks or a week after that, on the 2nd of December, is Doncaster. It's on a Sunday, right? So don't get confused. On a Sunday, I will be stalling out. Rob and me is stalling out. You've got Craig's here again. Dana's going to be there. I'm not sure about Matt Soulfunk Retro. I've not heard of much from Matt. I don't think Rich King Retro has gone off the radar. But you'll have all the other big vendors there, and obviously, you know, you all know about Doncaster. It should say before Christmas. Two schools of thought there, because you probably think, well, no one's going to spend any money because it's Christmas, and then the other school of thought is, but people might be buying presents. So we'll give it a whirl. We're going to try, you know. If nothing else, it'd be a good day out. The Bristol Gaming Market, I won't be going to Bristol Gaming Market. Revival, I will be down on Saturday, and then Doncaster. And that's it for the year then. I'm not doing any more. I haven't even thought about next year, so I'm not even getting that far ahead. Right, covered all that off now, haven't I? So, off of eBay, couple of Mega Drive games. Managed to piece this one together. No, I haven't. I will have pieced this together. I've ordered the manuals coming from Germany. Couple of quid, like 5 or something. I bought this blind off Music Magpie for eBay. 4 quid posted. Just in very good condition. It's not very good because it hasn't got the manual. Obviously, that's what I bought from Germany. But the rest of it is great. And for £4, manuals cost me £5, whatever, £5 something. So that's just basically a tenner. A tenner for this game complete is a good price, honestly. And it's George Foreman's KO Boxing. There's nothing to show on the fucking back. There's no pictures. It must be that shit. They don't want you to see it. But yeah, I mean the case and everything's fine. It's got the tabs there. So I say I'm just waiting for the manual to come through from Germany, and that'll be complete. That's like I say, tenner. A lot of people asking double that easily, and broken record toots. It's a sports game, but honestly, they're just harder to find. I think people just binned them or something. I don't know what happened to them, but yeah, it's there's a lot of Genesis ones of that knocking about, weirdly enough. Okay, so the other one that I have pieced together, again sourced, I can't remember where I got the manual from, it was on eBay somewhere, but I bought the actual game from a seller. Now the pictures were all right, but what they'd been a bit clever, because the corner, all the plastic on the front had peeled up, and when it come through I was like, has that been done in the post? But when I looked at the pictures really closely, you can just sort of see on the far corner how they took the picture. You can just see it raised up. So anyway, long story short, I just sort of said, look, I need to source a new case. They said, oh, we'll send you one, which is fine. I wasn't trying to rip anybody off. I just wanted a proper case. And I did mention, said, oh, you need to be aware it's a special case. I.e. it's a Codemasters one. And when he realised, he said, look, I can give you a £5 part refund. So this has cost me 15 quid. Again, a couple of quid for the manual, so 20 quid for this game complete. Absolute fucking Billy bargain. And it is man overboard. I don't really know a great deal about this. It looks, I don't know if it's Lemmings type affair. But say now it is nice and complete as well. Yeah, I don't know a massive deal about it, to be honest. What year is it? I think this might be a late release, you know. 1994, yeah. So, tailing off on the old Mega Drive's lifespan there. But with that game there, I am down to, I think, 20 games, because I think it's 26. But I'm sure there's 6 Aussie ones on the list. So 20 games. And some very expensive ones too. But I'm not, yeah, that doesn't bother me. I know, you know, in terms of the methods of collecting, there's various different people, you know, champion their method of this. A lot of people say, get the expensive ones first and the rest of it's a breeze. I mean, I never really set out to sort of go, right, you know, when I'm going to get a full Mega Drive set. Mine's just evolved, it's happened, which is a lot of my stuff has. So, you know, I've got some expensive games just from years and years back, and some I haven't. But psychologically for me, if I can get it down to a small amount, I can manage those. You know, it's probably going to be like 10 really expensive games. And yeah, it might take me fucking 3 years to buy them. There's no rush. You know, they've been knocking about for fucking 20 odd years now as it is, so 25 years is not there's no rush. If I can get them cheap, I'll get them cheap. If I have to save some PayPal funds and whatever, then I'll do that, because that's really the case. I won't be buying £20 games here, there and everywhere. You pull them funds together, allegedly. Here's what it is. Right, the last one off eBay, again, piece this together somewhat. I think it was the last Doncaster, and I bought, I'm sure I bought a complete game off this guy, and this loose manual. No, I'll tell you what it was. It was complete, but the case was smashed. It was on the long boxes on the Mega CD. It's a Mega CD game. And this came up on eBay. I'll tell you what, it's Powermonger. Right, so Powermonger came up on eBay. And it was a bid. And it sort of said missing the manual. So I got the manual, I say from, I want to say it's the Scouse Liverpudlian guy. It's only something like £1 or something, or £1.50 or £2 or whatever it was. I thought, well, I would nab that, because, you know, always missing the manuals generally. But this come up, obviously, with no manual. And it was bids. And I sort of said to the guy, look, have you got a price in mind? Because I can't remember when it was ending. I wasn't sure. I can't remember. And he sort of basically said, I don't know why sellers do this. He left it that long to reply to me that someone had put a bid in. Oh, I can't do it now. There's a bid on it. And I thought, well, yeah, because you fucking waited like however many fucking days to respond back. Twat. Yeah, now we're complete. So I thought, right, fuck it. And I made a note. I think I might put an alarm on my phone for when it's going to end. And I think I offered him 15 quid. I ended up winning this for a £10 delivery. I think it's like £8 and then £2.50 postage or something. So, fuck him. Just, you know, leaving stuff to run on the bid doesn't always work, and I end up, you know, winning through. I think the case might have had a crack in it or two, but upgrading these cases, a piece of piss. I've told you that before. So, that's Powermonger complete now anyway. Again, for not very much money, relatively speaking. It's not an expensive game. You don't tend to see it a lot on eBay for sale, to be honest. Weirdly enough, Class as common on Retro Collect. Pay very little mind to those flags that they set against them. Right, now the last thing from eBay, or last things, but I'll do the last. I think that's it. I feel like I had more, but maybe I didn't. Oh, I have got some else. Stupid. Yeah, that is eBay as well. We'll do that last. We'll do that after this. It's fucking stupid. Do these. So, in the Blackpool video, I was talking about Mean Machines, the magazine. Obviously, I've acquired a couple from a few of the lads. I've hopefully got some coming. Well, I have got some coming at Doncaster. Obviously, you know, assuming the guy turns up and it's not snowing and all that kind of shit. So that'll be, it's only 24 magazines, which I think is doable, within reasonable funds as well. So as part, where start again. Where Mean Machine started was within computer and video games. So I used to, you know, buy computer video games every fucking month. Because it's multi-format, as I told you before, consume as much different variety of different systems as I can. Best bang for your buck. In the early days, within CVG, when it was computers, they had a section that started up, and that section was called Mean Machines. And obviously that spun out and formed its own magazine, which is what you now know as Mean Machines. But what they did, and I can't remember up until what date this was, there's 4 in this, and I've got the last 3, so I'm missing issue 1, which hopefully shouldn't be as hard to get as these ones, because I think the first issue of anything tends to be mass produced. So if anyone has got issue 1 of this, let me know. I know Griffo's got it, but I've seen these come up a few times on eBay. They're not as prolific as you'd like to think. I did miss out on a load. There's a guy had all, I think he had all 4, and he had them all on the individual bids, and I think they were going for like 20 odd quid each ish, give or take. I've got these 3 here, and I sniped it. I sniped the fucking eBay bid, not on a robot or anything like that, but obviously manually sniped it. So for the grand total of £40 and 1p, I won these by 1p. Put £40 and 1p in it, and that's what I won it for. So you all know that tip anyway. Whoever was the other guy must have been fucking pissed off, because I hate it when people do that to me. But that's, you know, you have to play the game. So what does that equal? I don't know, like 15 quid each maybe, less the postage. Yeah, 15 quid each. So I've got, I say, issue 2, 3 and 4 of the Complete Guide to Consoles. CVG's Complete Guide to Consoles. So the first one is yellow. If anyone's got that, fucking hit me up. This one I remember the first, second and third one. I don't recall seeing the 4th one, but I remember this because it had Eastwat on the front. The first one's got Super Ghouls and Ghosts, or Ghosts and Goblins, I can't remember, it's one or two of the. It says yellow. And it's just a collection of all of the reviews against all the systems, and there's the 4th one. I don't really recall seeing this one, but as you can see, CVG Mean Machines. So that's its origins, essentially. They were an alright, I mean, given the age, you know. I mean, fantastic. Look, see, there's it's advertising Mean Machines, the actual magazine. And it just goes through guides, you know, in terms of the price guides, but review guides and the scores that they give them all. It's just like a catalogue of all the reviews and the views, like links. I've got links in here. GX4000. So yeah, it's a collection within a collection, I suppose. But yeah, definitely remember buying these, especially the first 3. I don't recall the 4th one. I don't know what year that was. It's displaying until the 10th of Feb. I don't know what the year it is. It doesn't say. But anyway, fantastic. issue 1. Anyone for issue 1? Let me know. So I keep looking on the old Fleer Bay. It's just a little collection within a collection. So these ain't cheap compared to, you know, some of the other magazines and stuff. They're a lot scarcer than you probably think as well. Might leave that till last. I've got one more eBay thing I'm going to leave till last. From the Facebook group. Oh, needs easing up. There's a chap, Paul Mad Murdoch. Paul Murdoch. No, anyone's called Murdoch in my mind. It's Mad Murdoch out of the 18. Paul Murdoch is one of the admins on. It's either Retro Realm or Galaxy Sega. Can't remember. It might be both. He put quite a sad post up there, basically saying he's had enough of collecting. This was his Mega CD stuff. I think he might be looking at thinning out everything else. I don't know. He said he wants to get back into PC gaming and online gaming. Each to their own. In his words, he was missing a number of titles from this set. He's never going to get. He's never interested in buying them. So why keep the rest of them? So he did a couple of raffles and some of the sort of smaller end titles, and then he had the rest up for sale. I did miss out on a couple that I needed because literally it was like boom, they were gone. I mean, I think 30 minutes or something when I sort of saw it, and 2 of the games that I was after. I think it's 2. Someone else snapped up. It might have been 1. It was definitely Star Wars Battle Chess or Star Wars Chess. I think that was the only one. Maybe it was 2. Maybe it was Crisscross as well. I can't remember. But I bagged these 2. Well, I asked him the price, and when he fucking told me the price, I was like, yeah, I've got to have them. You know, not cheap. But I'd moved some on eBay. So I basically just reinvested the money. That's all it is. They probably does it need a new case? Probably not. I mean, they might do. It depends how you look at it. This one here, the first one, the sort of lesser valued one, and the price you quoted me on this, as well as like, yeah, fucking having them. So the pair together, I think it's 150 quid. So yeah, say not cheap. No, it was 145 and £5 postage, so 150 together. This one he said £45. Now I was looking at this at the last, I think it was the last Donny. The chap had it, and it was like 65 quid, and that was a good price then. So when he sort of said 45 quid, I fucking snapped his hand off. And it's meant to be quite a decent port, actually. Probably one of the most loyal to the arcade game, if you can even call it a game. QTE, Quick Time Event. It's Dragon's Lair on the Mega CD. Nice and complete from Paul Mad Murdoch. I was watching Lawn Boy's post. He was playing part 2. Was it Singe's Castle? It was part 2 of Singe's Castle. And I watched another video by a chap. I can't remember what his name is now. He does these like history of, not very well either. They're cringe-worthy. I don't know why I watch them. It's almost like a form of self-abuse because his volumes are all over the shop. But they're all right. They're only like 10-minute videos. And he was talking about, obviously he did like the history of Dragon's Lair. I think he got inspired a little bit by Slope's Games Room and stuff. I don't usually watch shit like that, to be honest. It doesn't interest me at all. I think he might have put the link in one of the Facebook groups, you know. And that's how I've clicked on it, and I can't remember what it was. It might, I can't remember which history of it it was that he'd done. Pat something his name is. American guy. It's just, I don't know. But anyway, he'd done, I'm sure he'd done the history of Dragon's Lair as well. Talking about it. But anyway, yeah, Dragon's Lair and the Mega CD. I digress as always. Like this one, when Paul said 100 quid and 45 for that, I was like, because obviously I look for Mega CD games on eBay, and I was a bit surprised. I thought, is that right? So a lot of them are bite nows and stuff like that, and they're like double, 3 times this. What people are asking, like 250 and this, that, and the other. I think what it's based on, if you look at sold listings, I think there was a bid and one went a little bit over 100 or whatever. So, you know, those could be few and far between. There was one that I was watching for Lords of Thunder, and it went above what the bite now was from one from Germany. I don't get why people do that. So the point I'm trying to make is that although one might have sold for that much on a bid, doesn't necessarily mean that that's what the next one's going to sell for, because it could just be the end time, it could be anything, couldn't it? The time that it was listed at, you know, if it's the middle of the month and no one's got any money, it'll go cheaper, whereas if at the end of the month when everyone's a bit flush, it'll go for more. A load of factors to put into play. I say, because he said 100 quid, I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to fucking have it. I think it's like an interactive movie. It's probably a load of shit. It's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So I ain't played it, so I ain't got a clue. So don't ask me. But it looks like an FMV interactive movie. So I don't know if Paul Mad Murdoch's watching this, but yeah, they'll hopefully form part of a full set at some point, maybe not, because obviously there is still, like there is on the Mega Drive, some expensive titles to get, and I did think Power Rangers would be one of the more expensive, tricky ones to source. So it just goes to show you, you know, Lords of Thunder, high rated game anyway. You know, looking at, I mean, that one went, I think it's like 220 quid. I think it went for 250. I don't know, it's something stupid anyway. I was watching it, I was like, fuck that. Buy it cheaper and buy it now, and someone's got to, you know, make me an offer as well. So I think it's just that bug in it that everyone just gets caught up in it all. The bidding frenzy. See, that's why I've never been to an auction, or auction as people call them. And I can understand, you know, you get caught up in it, and I think you kind of have a sense of realism with them. Probably a good job I don't go to auctions. I remember Alex telling me he went to an auction and had a load of video game stuff, and he thought he'd pick some up cheap, you know, and there's obviously always people there that trying to get on the retro game or the video game bandwagon, and he sort of said the prices that they were paying for stuff just cheaper on eBay, and at least you've got some guarantee. This is just like a box of fucking shit. They don't know it works, and they're just bidding stupid money on it. Anyway, right, the last thing, and then you can all sod off and enjoy whatever you're going to do. So hopefully I'll get this up. Hopefully I'll get it up by Sunday, so you can all have something to watch, other than the 3-hour epic that was taking retro liberties. No apologies needed or given for that. It is just us lads just being fucking animals, basically. Clearly some people don't like it, judging from the thumbs down. It seems to be the same 6 people, but hey ho, look, that it is what it is. But we'll move on. This may be to other people's liking. Right, so there's some bad news. There's been a death. There's been a death in the collection. Sad. Sadder than that. Did I allude to it, or did I speak to the guys afterwards last night? Basically, a certain system just fucking died. For no reason whatsoever, it just died. Just ceased to work. And I spoke to a few people, spoke to Simon Locke, spoke to Gadget UK, you know, people that are way far more skilled in that sort of intricacies, and both of them just basically said, ain't worth it. Ain't worth it, mate. The system in question, and again referring back to Alex, the old dinosaur's dead, Alex, the Reptron. The Reptron 5 as he calls it. The Reptron 5, yeah, it just fucking just died. It used to power up and do nothing, and now it doesn't even power up. So fuck knows what's gone wrong with it. It is just died. I mean, to be honest, it's a launch machine. I've never had, touch wood and all that, never had any problems with it whatsoever. Honestly, I could update it, I could do everything with it. Didn't rip any cartridges, didn't rip any pins out. But I don't know if it's overuse or whatever, I don't know. But it's just fucking dead. It is dead. And I think that happened a couple of weeks before Blackpool, might have been a month before Blackpool. So I've been around anything to really, I mean, that's a lie. I could fucking dig out all the proper dedicated machines and stuff like that. But from a flexibility, convenience side, you know, I've been without anything to sort of have a tinker and have a quick spin on some sort of games. Not that I play any of the games really, so I'm just saying that to make you all feel better. Or make myself feel better. But anyway, I say it was before Blackpool, and thought there's a couple of options I can do here. I can maybe try and get a, you know, just a unit only off eBay. So I was looking for that, just cheap, but they're not that cheap. I know it sounds sort of daft. I don't know what I was expecting, because I thought, you know, it got a bit of a bad steer. Did the Reptron, fucking can't say it. The Reptron 5 got a bad steer from a lot of people, but yeah, they're not as numerous. That's the word I'm looking for. As you'd like to think. So, where did I look? I was looking somewhere. Fun stock for this particular thing. It's discontinued, so some of you might know. I was like, oh, that's weird. They had the lesser edition of this for 100 quid. I was watching, oh, what's his bloody name? Let's Go Retro Gaming or something like that. Oh, what's his name? Josh or something. He calls himself Nintendo Wii. He's got one of these. He swears by it. Does a lot of his capture by this particular machine. Then watch Tony Electric Adventures video. So if you watch Tony's last video, you'll know exactly what I've got here. I think he bought the one from Fun Stock before they discontinued it. And I can't remember who it was. It might have been, I think the guy's name's Josh. It might have been Tony. I don't think it was Tony, I think it was Josh. Because I definitely remember on someone's video they said that the company making this, Cyber Gadgets, that's it. They're not making any more. It's literally the end of the production line. There's no more being made at all. So the item in question is the Retro Freak. I have got some unboxing footage. I might chuck it up. Guys, unboxing time, new system. It's a replacement, although not direct. Some may say I've switched sides. I've gone to the light. I've seen the light, perhaps. Excuse me. But it's needed. Well, somehow maybe not. It depends how you look at it. It's needed for me anyway. Took me a while to source one of these. Actually, they are a lot more scarce than you think, especially this model. Part of the catalyst. Not really the catalyst, but a real push was watching Tony Electric Adventures. He'd bagged one of these, I think, before, and if I'm quite right, if I understand correctly, they've stopped making these now. So they are becoming a little bit more scarce. Someone may prove or disprove that, I don't know. And you see, when we get into it, what it is. Let me get rid of that first. I don't want to see that. So yeah, there was. Oh god, that's a bit tape there. What was it? Fun Stock selling these, so you can probably tell from what it is. Yeah, Fun Stock was selling these, and I'm assuming they were probably selling them off. But as I say, my understanding is you can tell what it is now. He's a Retro Freak. My understanding is, like I said, these are no longer being made. They've stopped doing them. So this one came up on Flea of the Bay. Let's get it out, just in case. There's one or two you probably don't realise. Yeah, a lot smaller than I thought. I never really give this time of day. And not because I thought it was a lesser system. I think at one point it might have been more expensive. than the old, as Alex Nintendo Arcade would say, the Retron 500, the old dinosaur, the Retron 5. But yeah, the price of these it's dropped, but I think they're going to start climbing because, like I say, they're going to the availability is going to become more and more scarce. I'll just get that shrink open that come with it, and we'll go through it all, guys. I mean, I'll probably do a little bit of a chat back in the room anyway, but the bulk of it will be this. So yeah, the Retro Freak, I'm probably going to park my arse. This come out a little bit after the Retron 5, and I was a big advocate of the Retron 5. I had no problems with it. I mean, I've had it since launch. Mine's a launch one. A lot of people had a lot of problems with theirs. I had nothing until, God, what was it? Just after the summer, it just stopped working. It literally just stopped working. I thought I'd done something or not done something. I spoke to Gadget UK, sent him, had a chat with him, and he just basically said, "No, Stu," he goes, "It's the way they are. The way is it surface-mounted diodes or surface-mounted capacitors or whatever? I don't know." So I said one of them could have just fried, and there's not a great deal you can do with them because it's just not worth it. So with that in mind, obviously, yeah, I've got all the systems to play all the various games on, but just having this or having like the Retron or whatever, just for accessibility, usability, convenience, you can't beat it. So I thought, well, and again, even now the Retrons are like 150, 160 quid, and I thought, well, let's give this a whirl. I've not heard many bad things about this, to be fair, compared to the Retron. So I thought, well, fuck it, let's jump ship somewhat. So this should be the quote-unquote premium one. So I think it comes with like the adapter, the controller adapter in it. It should do anyway. Mine did come with an extra controller. This was an eBay purchase. I say I've been looking at Funstock. Funstock had the premium one out of stock, which was cheap, like 89 quid, but it says discontinued. You can get the standard one for £100. I paid 125 by it now. The guy is up as an auction or buy it now. The auction started at 50 quid. I'd missed out on one a day or two, a couple of days before. That went for just over 100 quid. So I knew it was about the £100 mark. That was the kind of figure. Messaged the guy, sort of said, look, are you open to offers? He was very reluctant. I mean, I think he was citing the X controller, which I don't know what's that. I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 quid. I don't know. And he was very clever in what he said, because he sort of said, look, as soon as someone puts a bid in, the buy it now option will go. And I say there's not many of these knocking about, not especially pre-owned, not boxed. I think the last one that I was looking at actually wasn't even boxed. That's right, it wasn't even boxed. And I thought, for the extra 25 quid, let's just get it, and we've got it. It looked like, it looked, you can only go by what you see in the pictures. It looks clean, tidy, etc. Let's see where it said he got it from. Cyber Gadget. There you go, look, so it does say premium. So yeah, that's the extra. It's this little doober. No, actually, no, it's not. That's the adapter. That's the Famicom adapter. So that was one of the, one of the things with this is it's all not modular as such, although it is modular. It's yeah, for your Famicoms, your Super Famicoms, you have to keep changing the parts out. So the people have got this, and obviously the bonus with this massive boom on this is it plays turbo PC Engine games, the cards, the Hue cards. Significantly smaller than the Retron 5. You've all seen this, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I've never seen one, so He did say he left some games on there, said I'll jump to take them off, so it doesn't matter. Well, it wasn't bragging, I just thought, look, it doesn't really matter. He's packed it exceptionally well. Now does that mean that's built into the sock? I thought the premium meant that it come with the controller adapter. Maybe it doesn't. So I've been proven wrong. So I don't have the controller adapter port, which I'm not even sure where that fits on. I'll have to have a look at it. But say I've got it in the house anyway, you know. I don't know what these controls are actually like. Well, they feel alright. They don't feel too bad. Can't be worse than the bloody Retron. It's wide as well. Oh no, here it is. My God, it's tiny. Okay, it was right. Yeah, this is what's meant. This is the extra. So I'm guessing that's just a USB lead into the front of here, which is like a breakout box. I was expecting it to slot in somewhere. So I don't know. I'm not familiar with the Retrofreak. I'll have a play with it. But yeah, so that's, you know, a very crude, because I said it's not an unboxing as such, like a, you know, an official unboxing or anything like that, because these have been out for fucking 8 years now. Very long time. It's just new to me. I thought I'd just share that with you. So I'll talk about it back in the room a little bit more, see how I've got on with it. But yeah, like it's that kind of like modular, and it's having these bits knocking about all over the place, isn't it? That's the only thing. But I thought that when I saw pictures of it, I always thought that slotted in somewhere, but it's just obviously a breakout box. But we'll see. I will report back my findings, but you know, at least it means I've got that convenience and I don't have to drag out, you know, Mega Drives and Super Nintendos and NESes and all kinds of shit. And obviously it does give me that extra convenience I didn't have, that allows you to play the cue cards for the old Turbo. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. I say it looks in nice condition. Again, if someone can let me, you know, if someone can verify, I'm sure these they've stopped making a Retrofreak. Do not make, or whoever it is, Cyber Gadget, do not make these anymore. Sorry, that was a sneeze. So given what they can do, and I say a lot of people do prefer this over the Retron 5. I've never, you know, I'll probably be one of the few people that's probably jumped sides, or so to speak. I never really had a problem with the Retron 5. You know, mine always updated. I kept it up to date and stuff. It just, maybe from overuse, maybe they're just not as durable as they made out or whatever. I don't know. But no, never had a problem with it. So we'll see. We'll see how we get on with this. I'm looking forward to it actually, because it's slightly different. You don't need to have the games connected. You can put them in and then dump them to the memory, to an SD or micro SD, whatever it is. Unlike the Retron, which I did kind of like the Retron because it still not forced you, but you know, it kind of encouraged that collecting mentality still. And obviously it doesn't mean to say that I have to dump all the games. I could still do it exactly the same way. So there is a different option there. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. Back to the studio, as they say. I think I can't remember what I've said in that video. 125 quid, not cheap. I know the guy did it on a bid. It's 50 quid. Lovely chap, honestly. His name was Darren. Sort of chatted back and forth with him, and I think the clincher for me was when he sort of said if someone puts a bid in, the buy now option will go. So I always had, and again I might have mentioned in the video, I always had about £100 in my mind. I'd seen one of these sell loose, same system like the premium one with the extra adapter, included adapter, and that went for like 100 quid. He had the extra controller in there, and it was boxed. I had some PayPal. I had to pay, I think, like 20 odd quid cash out of my own pocket, so to speak. But I thought if I don't buy this one now, I'm sure they are. I don't think they're making any more. Hence the fun stock discontinued, which is a real shame. You've all seen the Retrofreak, haven't you? You've seen it in the video. So I'm not going to get that out. I've got the box here. It's all set up over there. I will say is, in terms of its functionality, it's running on the same OS or build or whatever that the Retron is, because you can even use the same cheat codes. My Game Boy adapter and Master System adapter work in this fine, so I bought that for the Retron. So you know, I haven't completely lost that. It's not a complete waste of money. It does feel, in terms of a build, slightly better, I must admit. It's a lot more compact. Obviously I do like the fact you can copy stuff to the micro SD. It's gone really dark now. I think it's going to be thunder and lightning. But yeah, it just gives me that. And I know a lot of people don't like these. I know they sort of say, oh, it's not true, it's not. But you know, it's just that ease of use. It's that convenience. You can't beat it for me. It's gone really dark. So yeah, early days in terms of this. But at the minute, quite like it. I haven't tried any of the PC Engine. I might give that a whirl later. I haven't tried any of the PC Engine games. All the filters are exactly the same as the Retron 5 anyway. Still got that fucking annoying thing with Secret Mana 2, where the screen, it doesn't adjust the text, so you have to sort of not force the original screen resolution. You have to play Secret Mana 2 in quite a sort of enlarged view, so the text boxes when they pop up don't stretch the screens. It's a horrible little quirk. I don't know why I can't get around it. But it is being ceased, so I don't think there's going to be any more firmware updates. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe they might bring out a new version of it. But, you know, give or take 100 quid. That's what you're probably looking at for one of these. Loose, probably 100 quid, yeah. You can get the one that doesn't have the little adapter there, still from Funstock. I think it's called the Basic. This is called the Premium. That just allows you to use the controllers. The actual controller that comes with it, better than the Retron 5 one, I must admit, but still a bit, it doesn't still feel great, if that makes sense. But it'll do for a quick blast. You know, playing Game Boy games on it last night and stuff, having a tinker, and it's fine. You know, it does the job. What was I going to say? But yeah, I haven't tried the PC Engine stuff, and obviously you need the adapter to play some of the NES titles, which is in there anyway as well. So I haven't tried any of that yet. So it's still early days, but happy enough. It does what it says on the tin. Still got all the same patches. Still use all the same IPS patches that I've got for all the Super Famicom titles. So yeah, hopefully it's not going to die on me. I think that's probably about enough fucking waffle. Been going on too long. I can see this is going to get really noisy in a minute, because I think the heavens are going to open up. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. See you maybe next week. We'll see what goes on. We'll see what we can find, what we can pick up, what we can grab or not, as the case may be. Failing that, definitely look to get yourself to Revival. I'll be there on the 24th with my mate Rob. There's a gamut of tubers that are probably going to turn up as well. So plenty of banter, plenty of laughs and cracks and beers being drunk and stuff like that, no doubt. So yeah, take it easy, YouTube, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.